Hey guys, it's Paradise, and new content for Monster Hunter Wilds is on the way in the form of weapons designed by the community. For those that don't know, for most Monster Hunter games, Capcom has held a contest where talented members of the community can submit designs for them to be included in the actual game, and that's how we got the Wyvern Ignition in Monster Hunter World. There's currently an ongoing contest for Monster Hunter Wilds where Capcom has now moved on to the final stage after submissions, as they have revealed that we can now vote on our favourite ones. So in this video we wanted to show you each of the weapons, as some of them are really cool and point you in the direction of where you can vote. Obviously, a lot of you are waiting on more endgame content and performance fixes for the game, but this is more like side content that enhances the game, so it's just good news. If you want to vote, you can actually vote for one weapon and one pendant that will be implemented into the game. All you need to do is head to the Capcom website, where you can see all of the weapons and place your vote. We've included a link to the page below that will save you some time, but note you will need a Capcom ID to partake. After you finish, come back here and leave a comment on which ones you liked and voted for, as this will help us know which ones are the actual popular ones. So let's go through each of the weapons, and there are 20 designs in total for a variety of different weapons, with some weapon types getting multiple entries and others getting none, like the ranged weapons like the bow and bowguns. So F in the chat for all the ranged enjoyers out there that were hoping for a chance for their weapon to win. We're actually very surprised that some of the amazing weapon designs that were going viral on Twitter didn't make the cut. For example, here are a few of the designs that we really liked, but unfortunately didn't make it into the voting. Anyway, let's go through the 20 chosen weapons in alphabetical order. First up, we have Nettle Jelly's Sting, which is an endemic life themed lance. This combines the Winter Moon Nettle and the Phony Sparkle Jelly in one weapon, which the designer says has the feature of being translucent and the tentacles will sway. This is a very cool weapon if you like the underwater theme of it, and credit to the designer for creating something that uses themes from the game. And next up, we have the first of the Insect Glaive entries. This is an awesome ghost-themed glaive with a gothic look. The design has some interesting features, with the lantern at the bottom displaying your extract and the Kinsect being a cute little ghost, and then the rising spiral slash effect being more ghostly. We actually really like the little ghost Kinsect, so we can see this one doing pretty well. Then we have a Charge Blade entry, and there aren't any details given about the weapon itself on the image, but it has that Star Galaxy anime Sailor Moon vibe to it. One of the things that draws us to the design are the additional effects, and we can just imagine the wings bursting open as you go to block, draw, or do some other actions. Next up is Weapon D, which is the Frost Engrave Blade, which is another charge blade. This weapon is a frosty chainsaw with an embedded magical gem. The unique effect of the weapon is that the ice covers the shield when in shield mode, but when you switch to axe mode, it expands, starting the engine for the chainsaw. This is a very cool design, although it does slightly remind us of the Black Eagle from the Iceborne weapon contest. Next up is one called Nature's Tranquility, and it's a hunting horn. If you love your downy crakes, you're going to love this one, as if you look closely at the image, you can see the little crakes move along the weapon, which the designer says moves with the weapon. Seeing this in-game would be fun, but there are a few more amazing hunting horn designs, so it has some competition. Then we have the second of the Insect Glaive entries. This one is called Kinsect Delight, and it looks very similar to the first Insect Glaive design, but is more focused on the lantern aspect. For the image, you can see that the weapon is able to attract endemic life, and there's an alternative red color version provided. Next up is the only entry for the Longsword on the list, but it is a banger. I think it's pronounced Ku Azarax, the Edge of Oblivion, and it has the ability to absorb black holes' energy and expel it. You can see that as the weapon levels up or the user changes stances, the sword will change color. The enhanced version of the weapon even has a slightly different shape, and we love the design on this one. It's 100% a front runner for us. We think that wielding a black hole would be amazing, especially if Capcom can add some additional effects on top. Next, we have another amazing looking space-themed weapon, but this time it's for the hammer. This is the Singularity Driver, and it looks like we would be able to make some massive galaxy-sized bonks with this one. We can see from the design that the black part expands as the user charges the different levels. If you are looking for something that can do a big chop though, then we have the Shatter Seal, and this design is just incredible. Just from the look of it, this is easily a top 3 pick for me, at least at the moment. While the core design of the Greatsword itself is a bit basic, the effect of the mirror shattering and reassembling itself during the different charged levels would be top notch to experience in game. This thing has really sold us. However, there is the inclusion of a unique true charged / effect that shatters reality. We think if we got this one in-game, it would be just as popular as the Wyvern Ignition. Next up is a cake-themed hammer that is a beauty with multiple layers of sponge and cream. The weapon was submitted in Japanese, but the Google translated information says the weapon is called Shortcake, which is perfect, and it comes with a palico and sacred decoration on top. The true gimmick of the weapon is that when you draw it, the candles will light up, and charging it to level 3 will release fireworks. Next up is the second hunting horn entry, which we think is called Kanade Nu Ekudra. If the current new Udra weapons weren't enough for you, then you have this to vote on. It has a unique feature of the top of it being able to go into combat mode and the tentacles moving. The flavor text provided by the designer hints that there'll be a mysterious voice that the weapon will sometimes release, which would be pretty cool to hear. And next is another amazingly designed hunting horn that has a gimmick where the crescent moon on the top of the hunting horn rotates, which causes snow to fall around the user. The image for the design has some additional background about the weapon, which we've translated from Japanese, and it says, based on the veena, an instrument that has been used in Indian music since ancient times, this piece incorporates elements of the god Shiva from Indian mythology. To be honest, it is sounding pretty cool. And next up we have another insect glaive entry with the Princess Otohime's flower umbrella. This weapon is themed on the underwater creatures similar to the lance we mentioned at the start of the video. You can see that the extract is reflected on the weapon itself and the jellyfish expands when unsheathed. Basically, this kinsect is based on real-life sea angels. It seems that many of the weapons in this contest are themed around space or underwater, as this next greatsword is all about ships. It's called Shake But Never Ship, with the flavor text that says be a ship that carves out your own path. The unique thing about this weapon is that charging it makes the central wheel on the greatsword rotate. Then we have the Blue Sparrow, which is a gunlance, and while the name is Sparrow, it looks like it takes inspiration from peacocks, and in particular the Indian peafowl. Next up is the Astral Diplomacy, a weapon that looks perfect if you like the 90s Sailor Moon anime vibe. We know a lot of the Monster Hunter community loves cute little things, so this could be popular. The gimmick of the weapon is that when you're in demon mode, it releases pink smoke, which would be interesting to see how this would work in-game. And then next is the last of the Charge Blade designs, and it's another amazing one. It's called Sunrise's Aria, and this one's a stunning stained glass inspired Charge Blade that looks like it was pulled straight out of a cathedral. The sword has a clean design, and we know the color will shift depending on your charge level. The cool thing about this weapon is that when you switch to axe or chainsaw mode, it reveals a full rotating rose window. Next up, we have the only Switch Axe entry, and it is a knightly looking one. It has a lot of warrior knight motifs, with the main one being a banner that goes along the length of the weapon, which isn't something you commonly see on Switch Axes. Next up, this one is just hilarious in the best way. It's literally a giant punk boot that is turned into a hammer. The text on the image says that it's made from monster leather with thick laces, metal studs, and even a guild crest on the sole. The whole design on this one makes you feel like you're doing a heel drop straight to a monster's skull. It is just ridiculous, but we do love it for that. Finally, we have the last and perhaps our favorite hunting horn design. It's a massive tree branch horn with a rotating shrine built into it, complete with a singing diva at the center. The whole middle mechanism spins as you play, but her head always stays upright. Every note she sings is a buff, and the impact spot is under the orb like you're smacking the tree's heart. This is such a strong entry, it could just bring it home for the hunting horn players out there. These are of course all of the weapon entries that you can currently vote on, and all of them are amazing, so make sure to go and vote on them, because we can't wait to see which one wins and ends up actually in-game. We are overall happy with the options, but it would have been very nice to see at least one weapon of each category get picked, and less overlapping themes because some of them were a bit similar. I think for me personally, I'm going to have to go with that last hunting horn. It just looked so well made and designed that I'm just really intrigued to see how it would look in-game. Meanwhile, for 2.6, he's picking the Shatter Blade because he thinks it would look 10 out of 10, and the whole shattering reality mirror thing just sounds amazing. There are, however, a ton of pendant entries as well, but we wanted to keep this video focused on the weapons only. We love the creativity that all of the designers have brought into the pendants though, as some of them are more monster themed while others are more out there. However, we will say that the Wild Explorer's pendant is our top pick, alongside this crake bag which looks like a meme. We absolutely love it. Well, that's it for all of the entries for this voting stage. After this, it will go back to Capcom, where they will then pick the final ones that actually win. So who are you voting for? Tell us down below and subscribe for more videos coming your way very, very soon. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 2-6.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.